guys, it's me, Sarah, Director of Awesome here at the IMAG, and it's time for our IMAG at Home video. And this week, we're gonna be making a bubbling density tower. Sounds super fun, and it is. The reason we're doing this experiment is because I wanted to talk a little bit about some of our Scout programs. So if you are a Girl Scout, Cub Scout, or BSA Scout, you want to listen up. So we always have offered Boy Scout and Girl Scout workshops, but this year we're doing things a little bit differently. So we are still offering our in-person workshops, but we are also offering a virtual option. So now, if you just want to do the workshop from home, you can sign up. You can either come and pick up your kit, or we can ship it to you, and it's going to come with your directions. And so you're going to have directions in here, but you're also going to have a Zoom link where you can actually tune into class live with me for the class. The other option that we have is for Girl Scouts and Cub Scouts, we are offering a badge in a box option. So that is in case you're not actually able to tune in at the time that we're doing the workshop and you want to do it on your own, whether you're an individual scout or you're a pack or a troop and you want to just do it on your own. Again, you're going to be able to get your supplies. So everything comes in the kit and then actually has individual supplies for each activity. There are a few little things you may have to provide from home, like a cup of water or some tape or some scissors, but the main materials will be in your box. And so for the badge in the box, you're also going to receive a link to pre-recorded directions with me that you can watch for each experiment. So there's just a couple different options now for our Scout programs. And again, you can find all of that at theimag.org. Just go under the Scouts tab and you'll find all the information there. But today we're going to do an example from one of our kits. So this one is actually from the Webelos Adventure in Science kit. So I'm going to take this out. We've got our directions here. So we have bubbling density tower. And then I'm going to go ahead and take everything out. And so we've got our cup, we've got Alka-Seltzer, and then we also have in here a portion cup of vegetable oil, a portion cup of just corn syrup, and underneath there's an empty portion cup, and we're actually going to fill that with water. So this would be the one supply that you're going to provide from home, which is going to be that water. And then also you have the option of dyeing it with food coloring from home if you want. And of course, I like everything colorful, so I'm definitely going to add some food coloring to this. Now, this experiment is all about density. So again, we're talking about chemistry here, and this is one of the requirements for the Adventure in Science badge. This requirement actually has to do with mixing together household chemicals in a safe way to do a chemistry experiment. And so for us, that's going to be your corn syrup, vegetable oil, and water. And then again, your Alka-Seltzer. So density has to do with how much matter is packed into a space. And it's going to make things sink or float. And it can do that with liquids too. So we've got our three liquids here. We have our water, our corn syrup, and our vegetable oil. And so you want to try and figure out which one is the most dense. Which one do you think is going to sink to the bottom of the cup? Which one do you think is going to rise all the way to the top? And which one do you think is going to end up in the middle? Now the cool part about this experiment is it doesn't matter what order you pour your liquids. They will settle in the correct order. So we're going to go ahead and test that theory out. So I'm going to go ahead and open this, and again, I'm going to put my safety goggles on just in case. Now, we're going to go ahead and pour our liquids. So I'm going to go ahead and pour my vegetable oil. Now, when you pour, you want to try and pour right down the middle of the cup so you don't get all those little drips that go down the side of the cup. I'm going to set that aside. And then now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour the corn syrup. And with this experiment, it may take a couple minutes for your liquids to actually settle out into their layers, and that's okay. And then our last one's going to be our water. Now, while we're waiting for our layers to settle out, and they actually did it right away, we're going to talk about this a little bit. So again, this is a chemistry experiment. So the first thing we'll say, physical and chemical changes. Right now, we've only done some physical changes. We changed the color of our corn syrup and the color of our water. And so that's a physical change. It's still water, it's still vegetable oil, it's still corn syrup. We just changed some colors. We are going to do a chemical change though, because in a minute, I'm going to add some Alka-Seltzer. And when you add Alka-Seltzer to water, you make carbon dioxide gas, so we're making something new. So the other thing that we're going to be dealing with here is, again, we talked about density. That's why we have these three distinct layers here. But there's another reason, and that's because oil and water don't mix. And besides density, the other reason is because vegetable oil molecules are actually hydrophobic. They're afraid of water. They don't want to hang out with water. They don't want to be friends. And so they're never going to mix. They're going to form those layers. So that's how we get these really cool layers here. And again, that's why I definitely wanted to color my water so I could really see the difference in those 3 layers. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and make that chemical reaction. So we're going to take our Alka-Seltzer and open this up. Now, when we look at our Alka-Seltzer, a physical change with our Alka-Seltzer is we're breaking it into smaller pieces. You could drop the whole piece in, it's not as much fun, but if you break it up, it actually starts to dissolve faster and it'll make the bubbles happen faster. So go ahead and break those into some small pieces. We'll leave one as a big one. So I'm gonna drop a big one in, and you're gonna see as soon as it hits that layer of water, and I'm gonna drop some more in, we're gonna get that really cool bubble action. It's kind of like a little lava lamp that's happening. And it's really only gonna happen in the layers that have the vegetable oil and the water. It's not gonna sink all the way down to that corn syrup down at the bottom. But we do get that awesome fizzy, foamy reaction happening as all that carbon dioxide gas is trying to escape. So, again, when you guys do this workshop, whether you're doing it here in person with us, or if you're doing it virtually from home, or if you're just doing it as a badge in a box, you'll have these directions. And the great thing about the directions is they also have the science behind the experiment, and there's always a way to extend the experiment and do a little bit more. So pretty simple stuff, lots of different options for you. So definitely go to the imag.org, check out all of our Scout workshops, and we will also be posting the directions to this activity under our iMag at Home videos. So thank you guys for tuning in. See you soon.